Hey everybody, thank you for listening to the Fate of Isen Book 2, Episode 8. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you drop us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Podchaser to let us know. Every review helps us grow and reach more awesome listeners just like you. Or just drop us a line on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Those are all at Fate of Isen to say hi. This episode was live streamed on our Twitch channel on Wednesday, the 7th of December. If you missed it but want to make sure you catch all of our streams in the future, make sure you're following us on twitch.tv/Fate of Isen. Okay, it's recap o'clock. Last time, Hamlet disappeared yet again, leaving Bardley, Dexter and Granny to deal with the apothecary about finally getting paid for their hard work. They learned that the band Caves had already claimed the reward in their stead, much to the group's annoyance. Seeing how desperately the heroes needed money, the apothecary gave them a list of other useful items that they could fetch, so back off to the forest they went.
Hi! Let's start here. Hi everyone. Kia ora, and welcome to Fate of Isen Book 2. Thank you for joining us today here in the crazy studio where we are in Wellington, or Whanganui Atara Aotearoa, Wellington NZ. So thank you very much for coming along. If it's your first time visiting Isen here, welcome, kia ora. And for all of our Faties who are coming on home to Isen, welcome back again. We've missed you. How have you been? You know, we've just been hanging here waiting for you. We don't do anything else. This is our entire existence. Yeah. We've got a crazy story for you today. Here we are. We're still in Book 1 in Chapter Earth. And we've got a whole new episode to explore for you today, and the cast to help me discover it for you. So let's reintroduce you to who we have here. We have Severin playing the human monk, Dexter Clementine. Hey, Severin.
Hello, DM Jules. How are you?
We also have Jules playing the human bard, Bardley.
It's me.
And then our third and final player character, we have Kasia playing the half-elf druid, Granny Sabinka.
Hi!
And that brings me to me. Hi, I'm DM Jules. I'll be your dungeon master today and for a while. All right.
Let's
I believe
kill some things.
we should launch into Isen. So, where did we leave our players last? Well, we left them in a small kind of wooded copse. You were exploring this area here for various herbs and moss and leaves and plants and flowers that the friendly alchemist had asked you to gather for him. He told you that he was going to actually give you some money if you head back to see Cafe at the grind with all of the ingredients and a list that he had given you. You don't have to collect them all, but he's given you a list of things that would be useful, basically. And if you
Did we find one?
Yeah, you have actually found one.
Yeah, I remembered that.
Yeah. And should you find more of it, there is obviously more money up for grabs. So,
but also more problems.
Yeah.
Well, any money would be more money, wouldn't
Well,
it?
at the
Because we didn't
moment-
actually get paid for any of it.
Yes, so at the moment our adventurers are struggling for a good payday, and a lot of you have come to town completely broke for various reasons, and I thought that might be interesting to talk about. So as we sort of start our episode today, why don't we share a little bit of like where you have come from and why it is that we find you with no money in your pocket right now. So, should we go in the same order as I introduced you earlier? Yeah.
No,
let's
it
go.
sounds like a terrible idea.
All right, Dexter, what's up? Why have you got no money?
Oh, I want to say it's because Dexter's not a very materialistic person, but I think it's more than that. It's a lifestyle choice. He doesn't like to be weighed down with his many pockets of stuff. It's also backstory-wise, he's been kind of kicked out of where he grew up. He's been shunned by his community, and so had to make a quick getaway. So didn't really have enough time to just grab any semblance of wealth, anything that could give him wealth. And as a kind of young kid, he's very naive and thinks that, well, money will just turn up. If he just is like friendly to people and really helps people out, of course they're going to kind of share stuff with him because that's the nice thing to do.
Makes sense.
He believes in the inherent good of people. And we'll see how that works out.
All right. So that brings us to Bardley. Why is it that we find Bardley with not a gold coin in the pocket there?
Bardley's a person who's relied on their family and position for a lot of their life, and kind of just being a aristocratic art person, industry baby, and it pretty much came to a point where he really let everyone down in the family and needs to go out and prove his own worth, and doesn't really have any support from anyone else. So we're at a time where it's like, oh, any money to feed myself and any money to get me to what I need to find.
And what about Granny? I mean, she's been around for a while.
Asked.
Why is she still broke after all this time, I guess?
Well, Granny has had a cushy life. She was a small business owner, turned nanny to many, many people, and at some point she just realized that there's more to life than money and stability and making bread, and decided to go out on her own and have her own adventures. So that didn't go down well with the family, and therefore she had to pick up whatever was on her back and in her sourdough starter jar and leave at the cover of night and find her own new fortune, be reborn, as you say, as a new person and build a new life. That didn't involve stealing from the register because, the grandchildren have to eat. Obviously.
Obviously. Yeah. I
One
like
thing I
that.
know about grandchildren.
Yeah. I like that even though you're running from them, you're still thinking about them, Perfect. So that is sort of why we're finding our characters out here on these crazy, endless, trying to get some kind of funds, sort of reduced to a grocery list from an alchemist guy who just needs some moss and some flowers
shopping
and stuff.
chores, the journey.
Yeah.
That's our squad. Shopping chore squad.
I'm sure it wasn't what any of you thought this was going to be when you set off to find a new adventure or, and so as you're making camp and making the best of it and getting to know your fellow people that you find yourself traveling with, or having similar or completely different, but finding themselves in similar situation to you, you hear a voice behind you, and you all feel a slight creeping cold that crawls up your back. Then the warmth of the sun again, and full bellies of squirrel root dinner that you just all cooked together, and the crackle of the campfire that you successfully lit here chase away any icy attempts to chill you, as this woman asks, "Is there a bowl for me?" And you turn to see an old woman who has seen better days.
I'm spooked.
Yeah. She's got a
From the get-go.
she's got a grey-blue tinge to her skin, and pointed ears, and very old-looking robe covering herself. There is something sort of unnerving about the way that she smiles and the way that her ears
I'm spooked.
stick pointedly out of her hood. She looks hungry. So, what's your reply as she asks, is there a bowl for me?
How much stew do we have left? Can we do a tally of food?
I assume she wouldn't ask unless we had enough left for her, right? DM Jules.
There is some food in there.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
Let's give her some soup. I'm spooked. I don't want to
Are you
do it wrong.
suggesting I didn't make enough food for guests?
Nobody's saying that, right, guys?
No, we wouldn't. Here, is there a spare bowl? Do we have a spare bowl? How are we eating this? Roll for cutlery.
You do all have like, packs.
What's our
basically.
picnic setup?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we...
Which one of us is closest to finishing?
Does she look suspicious to Sabinka? Like, does she look evil?
I mean, you can roll an insight check on her if you're sort of wondering about her as you're all staring at her,
I'll fill a bowl.
staring at your bowls.
I feel like what's the worst an evil person can do from eating food?
Okay, rolling insight. Deciding whether she deserves it. It is a 1. It's a 1.
Even if she's evil, I think we should give
7,
her a meal, is what I'm saying.
I'm just gonna
like you
give her
rolled
the
a 1?
bowl.
A natural
Yeah.
one?
Natural 1 plus 6.
Okay.
I don't care.
We're gonna pause there for a second because you rolled a natural 1 in the presence of someone who that might affect. And we're going to flick into the mind of this old woman. By the way, what is happening on the live stream right now is Samsara has taken a doodle out of my own diary that I made of this old woman and put it up for everybody to see. So I'm sorry, I'm not a good artist. This is not great art, but it's my imagining of a very important woman to me. So we're going to flick inside her mind as we
I'm spooked.
as we listen to her. Obviously, your characters can't hear this, but this is what she thinks. The cold is unforgiving. It follows her everywhere. The hunger, too. Usually, it's more of a hunger of the stomach. But looking at these adventurers, it's more of a gnawing feeling. Something about this group makes her feel restless and think about the past. She usually tries to avoid thinking of days gone by, mainly because so much of it is lost to the winds of time. So much time. The days seem endless, and still she persists, without a purpose, without people, just without. That feeling of loss and being left behind washes over her once more, so sure she was once someone important. Someone with a purpose, someone who knew those who would shape the very fate of the world. But that can't be true, or she would still be here. She wouldn't still be here, losing memories, losing years, losing herself. When she really tries to think back, she has a vague feeling of the endless stretch of time and the patience of those who have all the time in the world. Huge figures, somehow dangling from the sky, beyond the realms of power of anything I can comprehend. But then, my head hurts so hard when I try to chase that feeling so close to memory. That damn half-elf and her golden instrument cuts in. That music lulling me and telling me I'm dreaming and that everything's all right. I wish I could remember her name. Maybe she would hold the answer to who I was, who I am now. All I know is I'm alone. Alone beyond just being on my own. Alone, lost, forgotten, left behind, cut off from something, and so alone and hungry. And this collection of adventurers here, well, they make my hands twitch. My hands freeze. I feel something, a desire to touch them. An impulse I have learned to heed. It always feels like my life is ruled by complete chaos, but still I persist. So perhaps there is something to be said for following the rims of life. And so, I reach out. And Granny, this old woman, you sort of reaching towards her with a bowl of this, squirrel root stew thing, and rolling inside check on her, and she seems nice old lady, looks hungry, and she reaches out to take the bowl from you, or you think to take the bowl from you, and she grasps your hand that is holding the bowl, and she looks at you so intently that there's something kind of extra intent in behind her eyes. There's like a crackle of energy and a connection. And there's almost a static electricity when she touches you, but you can't let go because your hand is frozen, like frozen cold and frozen still. And this energy this cold energy just builds and across you and all the way down to your other arm. And there is a moment where even you can clearly see is frightened of what is happening. And then just the connection ends and she pulls back her hand and she sort of starts and she splays out her hands like this, and out of her mouth and out of her hands and everything comes this cold blast of energy just hitting everybody in the camp and everything around you. The trees are shredded with like icicles, and you feel these icicles into you, and it's like it feels like it hurts, right? It burns, but there's also nothing. Like, you look down at yourself and you haven't been pierced by anything. It's just like pierced by a very real energy that has sucked inside you, and then that moment is gone. And there's just a scared old lady standing there in front of you, the skin still tinged bluey grey, just looking at you all with wide eyes.
So wait, does Dexter feel the cold blastness?
Yep, absolutely. Everybody does. Like, Kasia kind of got Granny Sabinka actually got stuck there, like frozen. It was like the connection, really stuck her, but then the rest of you got blasted by this extra energy.
Did the stew survive?
Yeah, did she hold it?
It's a little cold, but and the campfire is still lit, although it did sort of blow, like something hit it and then it came back.
Can Dexter draw his quarterstaff and wiggle the spoon end at the old lady vaguely threateningly in a kind of like defensive stance?
Settle down,
Ooh,
Dexter.
You're not quite human, man. What are you?
It just looks like this sweet old creature just had a little bit of a sneeze to me. Here,
it's just a stroke. Did we all just have a stroke at the same time?
Yeah, because I rolled a 1, I assume she's like absolutely benign.
Yeah.
So I'm like, here, it tastes good cold too. Granny can cook.
Bardley goes forward and uses what's it called? Prestidigitation to just like light a little fire underneath it to heat it up a little bit. So it's still warm soup.
Oh, nice.
I don't know, I haven't felt like anything like that before, you guys. That was a lot.
She's like, I'm so sorry. That's never happened before. I think.
Can I do a check to see what that was? What the blast was?
Yeah, what kind of what are you checking for? Are you checking for, magic or
Look, I want to say Arcana, but I also want to say I have a 0 modifier to that.
I mean, you could do, you're more in touch with, the earth and nature and things like that, just generically from your sort of farming days. So you could just roll, to see if that was natural, is that a natural wind?
Would that be a nature check?
Yeah.
Oh, because that's also a plus 0.
I'm
just going to roll and see what I get. That is a natural 20.
Okay, so you're somehow absolutely sure, you feel it in your toes pressed into the earth, that was not just a snap cold wind. That came from her. And she seems surprised by it too, this old woman. Like, she didn't mean to do it, but it definitely came from her, and it has done something to you. You can feel the presence of the chill still kind of on you and around you, but, like, you're not sure what it's done. Because you don't feel, like, different other than just that weird chill.
Do you think I would gain any more insight by doing an Arcana check?
Dex is gonna, try to relay this to the party in the best way he can, like, I don't know, it was weird, but I mean, I don't feel much different. He's gonna, like, hesitantly put his quarterstaff away. How tall is the old lady?
She's, fairly short, almost sort of halfling size, but you're not sure how much of that is because of her, like, very hunched back. Like, if she could stand up taller, she'd probably be taller than your average humanoid, maybe. But it's hard to kind of tell. She's so hunched under that cloak. Yeah.
Can Dexter squat down to her level, go in real close, and then just prod her in the cheek?
And she's like, hello, young man. What are you doing there?
You seem strange. What are you?
Well, I'd like to know the answer to that, too. Some have
Dexter,
called
you
me...
can't just ask people who they are, I think.
Oh, well...
What they are, sorry.
That's... Yeah, well, I don't rightly know, son. I do know that, I am very old. And they call me Mel.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Mel. I apologize. Where are my manners? I was raised better than this. I'm Dexter. There's Bardley and Granny. Granny is also quite old. You might get along.
You can't.
Well, I would be offended by that, but you're not wrong, little Dexter there. I'm sorry. You poor thing. What brings you here in the middle of this cold forest alone and hungry?
Yeah, and she sort of, like, realizes that you've got this bowl and one of you's tried to warm it back up a little bit. And she's like, takes the bowl and sort of, almost, like, grabs, like, chunks and sort of dribbles them all down her face. And it's like, oh, that's good soup. Oh, thank you so much. I don't rightly know how I got here either. I was walking in a forest, and then there was a pool. I lost track of time, and well, then there was you, and well, you looked bright. Bright in that inviting way. It's probably the campfire. I felt like I should come over and say hi. The rest I don't understand.
Did you come from Lakeside? Do you have family?
That town back there? Yeah, no, I wasn't there.
Are you a fan of caves?
And she kind of, like, puts her head to the side, and she's like, I've been in many. I have a recollection of being in one with great treasure once. And she, like, kind of looks like she's sort of lost a little bit in the moment, in the memory.
Dexter just looks visibly confused and trying to imagine how you could get treasure into a band.
Oh dear,
It's like
oh
it
dear.
doesn't play any instruments.
And she sort of plonks down heavily. And she's like, what are you doing here?
She hitting
Oh,
on
we're
us?
on herb duty. And Dexter's just kind of gonna vaguely show her the list.
Yeah.
Assuming he can find who the list is in his robe. Jules?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay, cool.
You can roll to see what you pull out. See if you pull out the right list, because we know that.
Okay.
Yep.
The human filing cabinet. What do I roll again?
It's a D10.
D10.
Basically the equivalent of I'm feeling lucky.
Oh no, one of my dice escaped. Okay. It's a 10.
Okay. Yeah. You do pull out this piece of paper, and as you unfold it, initially what you actually see is this sort of oval shape with, it looks like wings. It looks like you can see like circles in it, and somebody might be waving at the front or something like that. And there's clouds around it, and it sort of looks like it's like metal, but flying in a sky somehow. And there is some words about like Chevs, marvelous invention, come and see the views, romantic sunsets, 100% safe 50% of the time. And that's what it.
Dan the Flying Man.
That's what it sort of advertises on that piece of paper particularly. Yeah, and then you flip it over, and you actually do see the list of ingredients.
Okay, so we've found this one so far. And that's about it. It's still early days.
And she's like, are you looking into the earth?
You may say that.
Would you say looking into? I feel like the earth is one with all of us.
Oh, well, that is true, yes. And, that might be why I'm dying.
Oh, don't say
Oh,
that.
that's a lot.
Hey, we're the youth generation. We're trying to clean up the earth. Well, apart from Granny, but like we're trying.
Hey, I'm very young for a half elf.
Yeah,
thank you.
Granny's open-minded and kind of a hippie as well, so we don't count her. I just meant the generation gap.
The greatest generation.
I'm sure Mel
Yeah.
here is being a little dramatic. It's been obviously a hard day, but we can take you to a place where they can maybe make sure you don't think you're dying. There's a hospital. They have a seniors
Yeah,
discount.
but you have to give them gold.
Very gullible.
Yeah, you could
people
get a
as well.
gold card.
Yeah.
Right, hospital. Yes.
Yes.
That's actually related to why we're collecting these things. For an apothecary for the hospital, yeah.
Well, I mean, that is a noble goal. One might say heroic.
Oh, yes, that's what we're doing, exactly. There was 4 of us, now there's 3, but we're still doing heroism, right, guys?
You can
yeah.
still
My
be
boss kinda
heroes
ran off.
while people are missing. If anything, if we find him, then we become more heroes. You
Yes.
know? Because then we've found a missing person and given them a job.
That's us.
She's like, I feel like you remind me of a group of people from a long time ago. And she's just kind of looking at all of you. Like, sort of like she's trying to puzzle something out. She's like, I feel like I was supposed to help them. Maybe. And she like sort of, you know, she's like trying really hard, like squinting really hard, and then you go, that damn music. She's like, what was it saying?
Am I able to do a medicine check to see what might be wrong with our new friend Mel?
Yeah.
Let's give it a go. It's a 21.
I mean, you're clearly seeing the look of someone who is suffering like psychic damage. You know, that sort of internalized pain. It looks like she is feeling it in relation to whatever she's saying about music. Yeah, you're not really sure what that means exactly, but you can see it's like, you know, like it's very, it's all the signs of psychic damage.
So, could it be...
You look like your head's not good, man.
And she's like, my head hasn't been right in some time, young man.
Do you know what's happening? Why are you in pain? I don't like seeing people in
And
pain.
she says, I do not know, but I feel like everything is random and everything is connected. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I've also done mushrooms, and I think this is Bardley, of course.
Yeah.
This is like his they're like, oh yeah, music and everything is like random, but it's all connected, and I am you and you are me, but like it's all by chance, but isn't it so special?
Yeah. And
he makes this motion,
Yeah.
like look into my face, but he's kind of missing his face a little bit, so he's like. Just a visual gag for the Twitch stream people. This is just for you.
Hilarious. This is
Yeah,
the
and
peak.
she just sort of like finishes the stew, sort of like slurping up the last bits and puts the bowl down sort of near Granny again and says, I've taken up enough of your time. I'm just an old woman out here. I'm not. I'll be going. I do appreciate the stew and your time for an old lady and her silly stories.
No, that's okay.
Aw.
Obviously, we hang out with grannies, and I pull in Granny Sabinka.
But don't
We're
be
the granny
silly,
hanging
Mel.
crew.
You can't just walk off alone. We are heroes. All of us.
Yes.
Even the old one, which is me, apparently. Let us take you to some help. You clearly need more than Granny's stew. I mean, it's a very good stew. It's a very good stew, okay? Very good, but
Very good.
Very, very
thank
good.
you. But what I'm saying, you just need someone to take care of you.
At least use one of our beds or something.
Yeah.
Like, have a long rest, I
Yeah,
think.
stay with
I
us.
always feel better after a sleep.
And she
Yeah, take, take one of the other one's bags. Sleeping bags.
she sort of
Take
looks at you
Dexter's.
all and
He's a monk.
processes, like thinks about it. You can clearly see she's thinking about it. And she just sort of nods to herself and she's like, most interesting. I look forward to seeing what you do next. And then she says, but I believe you're missing somebody.
We said we could still be heroes even if we're missing someone. So I think we already covered
I am
that,
missing
actually.
him.
And she nods and she's like, no, you're missing somebody. You're not whole. You're only most of what you need to be right now. I should come back when you are whole. And she starts like standing and like gathering her things and sort of heading off. And she's like, most interesting. She's like muttering to herself and she's like, almost felt like myself just then. Almost. You know, and she's just kind of muttering to herself as she sort of walks off, you know, into the wood.
Well, I guess we have to wait until we're less holy.
Huh. What could she mean? Do we have to find Hamlet this badly?
You... Is it...
Yeah, we might need my
Is he
boss.
the special shape that will fit in our hole of friendship?
I mean, I guess. What my...
I mean, we were gonna find him anyway, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I guess there's going to be a more concentrated effort now, yeah.
Yeah, he wanders off a lot, though. I don't feel like he wants to be part of this endeavor.
Yeah, that's on him, actually.
Yeah.
If he wants to be in this squadeth of soup havers around the fire, he missed an integral bonding moment where we talked about why we're here and ate soup with an old lady. So, you know.
Yeah. Also, he took all the money with
You
him.
snooze, you lose.
But if he's integrally missing from our special him-shaped hole, then maybe we need to bring him in as well.
On the other hand,
I just want to help.
maybe she meant something other than Hamlet. Like
Like what?
maybe we're not heroic enough.
Maybe we need 2 donkeys.
You know, like in that...
Maybe we need to find caves and have the money. Maybe we're not rich enough.
Maybe Hamlet could have told us where he's going so we don't have to look for him. That's what we're missing, the knowledge of where he's gone. Worrying his grandma like that, wandering off without a word.
Maybe we can get more powerful and learn some kind of spell to bring...
Maybe we could just go fetch that strange male person and ask them what they meant, because they're probably not far.
It's true. She was an old woman.
They're a little old lady. We could probably run after her. Maybe if we just go back to the apothecary, we'll just find him. You know, that's what my parents always said. If you lose someone, or if you're lost, just stay in the place where you got lost. And that's pretty much where we lost him. So if we went back there, we could probably find him there again.
Yeah, and he can find
But
us.
parents are actually responsible.
That's what I'm saying. We have to be the parents in this situation and go back to that spot. So we it's on us to be responsible now.
But what if Hamlet's
Responsible
not
squad.
the parents?
What if what?
Yes.
What if Hamlet's not the parents and he just keeps getting away from us?
Okay, if
What if
anyone's the parents, it's me.
It's us. Yeah.
Yes, we're the parents, but
We're the
I'm
parents in this
grandparent.
situation. Hamlet's not the parent. He's the kid, but maybe he'll turn up in that
Okay.
spot.
Okay,
Because
so
that's the place he remembers seeing us last.
what is the
That doesn't
plan
sound like a
right
kid
now?
thing.
Like, what are you planning on doing right now? You just had a weird encounter with an old woman who walked off muttering to herself, and told you you're all not whole, whatever the earth that means. And
Are there any more things on the list around the area that we've camped at? We're in a new place. Is there anything we can find on the list?
you
There
can
go.
roll me either a nature or a survival roll, or a perception roll. Up to you.
Rolling survival.
Perception.
12.
I'm gonna keep rolling the same
I'm
dice
gonna do a
until it rolls
nature
badly.
roll.
It rolled badly. I got a natural 1.
I got 14.
Okay.
I'm like really tired,
Okay,
you guys.
so Bardley, with a 14, you do actually find another item on the list. The apothecary is labelled this one as like, you know, he needs it, but it's not like super rare or anything like that. But he needs it. Yeah, with a 14. Granny, what do you get?
12.
12. Granny, unfortunately, you're not able to find anything. Probably a little distracted by our encounter that we just had. And Dexter, what did you roll? No, 1. That's right.
Natural.
Okay, so Dexter, what I'm going to need you to do for me, buddy, since you have been touched by the cold of Mel, who some of our longtime fades may recognize as the return of the Ziggler Mel. Not how we left her, but certainly an interesting development for this crew, as they have indeed, as you can no doubt be miles ahead of me, been touched by chaos once again. Only her chaos isn't as strong as it used to be, because she seemingly has been cut off and doesn't understand who she was. She just has this lingering amount or sense of something pushing her to keep trying to reach different people to do these things. So it is only a D4 that you are rolling right now.
Little
spiky
spiky
boy.
Let's go. That's another 1. Consistency.
Okay, so it looks like what actually happens is Dexter turns slightly into something that has like bark, like his skin kind of grows like bark, and his
Tree.
his eyes sort of, you know, grow kind of tight and circular, and his mouth sort of circular, and then there's 2 holes here that look kind of circular. Like there's lots of sort of like knots in bark, but he still retains himself. So he's still got like arms and legs, and his mouth is still open and closed. It's like sort of like someone tried to turn into a tree, but the spell didn't take. You know, it's like that kind of half-powered sort of look. So you grow bark and leaves sprout out the end of your fingers and your face sort of turns into all knots.
Whoa, man. I feel like I looked into nature just now.
What?
And the
you
rest
look a
of you-
little pale.
Yeah.
Can we see this? I was like, does he stay like that? Like, oh dear. What? Did you not moisturize? What's happening? Are you feeling okay? You don't look so good, little young Dexterito. I'm very worried. Sabinka's freaked out.
Yeah. I might just be acting a little bit wooden at the moment.
Yeah, Bardley screams.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, but
You could say Bardley is spooked.
I'm spooked. I'm scared.
Are you very
It's
spooked?
the worst Halloween ever.
Yeah. And then a few seconds more roll by, and then Dexter, the leaves kind of pop back into your fingers, and your skin kind of slowly turns back to skin. It's like
Don't like
the
that.
bark
Popped
sort of
back into his fingers.
yeah,
Ooh.
it's sort of and the bark sort of lessens, and your skin goes less wrinkly and sort of smooths out, and then you're back to you once more.
All right. Granny
Ooh, that was very strange.
snaps out the fire decisively and says, right, back to the hospital, would you? That looked very worrying. I'm pretty sure you have a temperature, and then I check his forehead.
This will make a great song. I can make this into a song. I can do something with this.
I'm
can work.
super worried, so I'm like, Bradley, shh. This is serious.
I feel fine, Granny.
And you do.
Okay, get on the donkey.
He's
Wrap
not a
up
tree
in the
anymore.
blanket. You don't know what he is?
I might
We
have
need
to
him.
exaggerate some things in the song. If anyone asks you, it was for 3 months that you were a tree, okay?
And
We'll
so,
talk about this attitude later.
Yeah, I'll
And
tell
so
them
our
that.
adventurers pack down their camp, dust off. I'm hoping put out the campfire. Put out your campfires, people, when you light them.
Oh, that's the rule. You
First
gotta
thing in it.
leave it as you found it. Leave it as you found
Yep.
it.
And
Bury
Yes.
your feet.
Only you can prevent crossfires.
Only me? I'm not even
Only
a bear.
and they begin the trek back to Lakeside with only 2 of the ingredients that the alchemist set them
Wait,
up.
hold up. I'm not checking
Oh,
back
are you
into
not?
Lakeside. Dexter's wrapping himself in a sleeping bag. He's like, I'll sleep it off. It's fine.
Pish posh.
It's kind of nighttime.
We are going as far as we can.
Yeah.
Is it far from Lakeside? Are we?
You're only a few hours from Lakeside. You weren't far.
We could go home and sleep at home. So we don't
don't
have to.
have a
Where's
home.
home?
Well, yeah, but in a house, in a with a roof or something. We don't have tents or anything.
All right.
I don't need a fancy roof.
Monks. Yeah, I'm sure you had a monk temple. Come on. I kick him. On the walk home, we can look for more ingredients.
Yes. We can roll again, right?
We could all do one more roll on the walk home,
I'll allow
right,
it.
Jules?
I'll allow it.
Yay.
Let's do it. I encourage it even.
Woo! Woo! 16! Woo!
Nice. Okay, with the 16, you actually find one of the more uncommon ingredients that Cafe had listed there for what he needed for the grind. So that's a little bit, that's going to be a little bit more GP for the purse.
I got a 13.
13, okay. So 13 is a pretty common ingredient again, but you do have some more, which is good. And what did our Dexter get after, really communing with nature?
Oh, Dexter is not allowed.
I got an 11.
Okay.
There's still a bit of bark in his eye.
Pull that piece of bark off and sort of throw it to the side, not realizing that potentially magical bark might have been worth quite a lot of money.
I would like to also make it known that Granny's fussing over Dexter the entire way as much as she can.
Yeah.
So we got 4 ingredients.
Yeah, leave me alone.
Yeah, you do.
Good job, team. Good job. Let's get home.
Yeah.
And then that's
Nope. And then you
No?
check in.
exciting. You never know what's going to happen in this.
And then we came back to the town. And
So
that
you
is
can-
the
So
whole
we're back
thing.
in the town.
You can check in with Cafe, and he can give you your gold pieces. And this is the first time
great.
that you've actually received any money. He tells you to hang on to the
Hooray.
list.
money.
Because some of those ingredients may be needed again. He's bound to need them again because the Lakeside LH always needs it. So,
The Lakeside Hospital.
yeah, I realized I was about to do that ATM machine
The old
thing.
ATM
Yeah.
machine.
The Lakeside LH Hospital.
And he actually gives you 15 plus 10, 25 gold pieces. Yeah.
Oh.
No,
Each
25
or
gold pieces
in
for the ingredients that
accumulative?
you found.
What are we doing? Are we opening a joint bank account? What's going on?
I feel like I've been holding our gold before. I have some gold for some
Granny's
reason.
the oldest, so she holds the money.
Yeah.
That's fine.
What if I need
You're
I
a
need
monk.
money, though?
You don't
Well,
care
then
about
I
money.
will decide whether you
Great
really need it.
observation. I still need money.
And Cafe also says to you that, you've been gone a while.
Have we? It feels like it's been a few hours.
Yeah, I thought you were just going to nip out and spend a few hours searching for ingredients, but it's been a couple of days.
Oh. We
Couple
got
of
chatting to an
days.
old lady, but it wasn't that long, I don't think.
Oh, we left this morning. You must
Wait,
be
have we-
breathing too much of this.
Have we missed the town
Herbie.
hall meeting? Please tell me we haven't missed the town hall meeting.
And he's like, the town hall meeting tonight.
Yeah. Oh, it's tonight. Oh, thank God. Guys, we can still go to the town hall meeting. Good
Wait,
for
no,
you.
I
Tuesday?
might be old, but we left this morning and we're back, and it is evening.
Yeah.
There must
We
be some
left.
mistake.
Make some
It is,
stew.
No, you left a few days ago to go and collect some herbs. Honestly, I'm glad you're back. We're running really low.
We brought 4 things back.
Is there something like? Would this be something we've encountered before? Is there, can we roll for like trying to figure out what the heck? Why?
I mean,
Oh, can we roll for time management?
do you think your character usually forgets about like 2 days worth of?
No.
Yes, I've also been on mushrooms.
I think it's pretty safe to say that you have never had this experience before, and you have
Okay.
no idea where the time has gone. It was you were out there, and you went and you set up camp, and you picked like not even that much, and you had one conversation with an old lady, and then you came right back. You should have been gone like maximum 8 hours, you know?
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Coffee. Coffee. Do you have one of those things that has like the days on it?
Oh,
Calendar?
you mean this one that the, wife makes me put up to remember important dates like her mother's birthday?
Yeah, that one.
Yes, the calendar.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a look at the calendar. Have they crossed off each day?
Yes, they've done the big
Okay.
red cross through. Yeah.
Oh man, it checks out. Unless the calendar's
Foolproof.
wrong.
So Granny, because she's very set in her ways and very old, is like, nope, you are lying to us. We need to verify with someone else because you are clearly not reliable. There's a lot of drugs in here, and I've heard what they do. Look at Bardley.
I mean, we did all have that moment where that big thing happened and we were all like, did we have a stroke? Maybe we didn't have a stroke. We went into a partial coma, had a coma dream, woke up
that's-
2 days later.
That lovely old lady sneezing, that's nothing.
That was all a
She was-
dream. We never had enough soup. We never had enough stew. It was all
How
it was all a
dare you.
dream.
And behind you, a familiar voice of Hamlet speaks out and goes, "Where have you guys
I'm
been?"
spooked.
And
I'm spooked, I'm spooked.
That's the
That's the
end of
end
the
of
episode.
I'm spooked.
I'm so weirded out.
This is
Yay, weirded out.
I'm only halfway through the book one. I have no idea.
this is wiggly, timey-wimey stuff, man.
It's a
Wibbly
lot of
wobbly.
Wibbly wobbly.
Yeah.
Timey-wimey.
This one was absolutely for the Fades who have supported us through book one, and the Fades who continue to support us on Patreon. Welcome back to the Ziglamel. Welcome back to Fades' favorite aspect. We get asked about it all the time: the random chaos rolling chart. So I'm looking forward to growing this with our players, with our Fades. In fact, at a couple of the highest tiers, some of the Fades are actually going to get a chance to put things on the table themselves as we go. So very exciting to see what our Fades are going to come up with for what our characters might get to experience should they roll it in the future. So new chaos, so fun. And speaking of those who help us like keep the lights on here at Isen HQ, a massive shout out to all of our current Fate of Isen Fatey Patreons. So let's go. Alex White Robinson, Irene Cucci, Lauren Christine Goodwin, James Byther, Sam Malcolm, Kai Drum False, Kai Dialev, Kariana Kowalczyk, Ben Edwards, Victoria and Gavin Porter, Daniel Nichols, Bachelor Catalina von Plimperset, Squish the Guy Who Doesn't Talk in an Audio Only Podcast, Alexandra Litkites, Andrew Evans, Danny Holman, Caius the Fox, Dakota Shemansky, Andrew M, Waffles the Magic, Jared from Indie Film Review Podcast, Ezekiel Tipperelli, The Gamatron, Christian H, Samsara at Gamers ADHD, Disturbed One NZ, Lyndon Hood, Tom Ailey, Erica Jane, Stephen Horn, Penny D from The Terrible Adventures of the Janderson Breakfast Parchment Coach Podcast. Oh my god. Such a big mouthful and such a big warm fuzzy in my heart for all of you. And of course, don't forget to keep an eye out on Fringe for tickets when they eventually launch for Fate of Isen's live show. So very exciting. We can't wait to announce that. And in fact, pretty much all of the players that we have here today will have Fringe shows for you to go see, and we will be announcing those loudly because we want you to support our beautiful players here on screen, and we'll tell you all about that when those are closer and when tickets are coming out. So that's everything. Thank you so much again for joining us, everybody. It really means the world to us. So kia ora, aroha nui.
Stay cool,
Bye.
everybody.
Well, it appears the Ziglamel has returned, but she is far from her old self, it seems. What level of chaotic power does she still hold, and will her former glory ever truly return? I guess that's a question only time can answer. And speaking of time, what the hell is going on with all of those lost days? DM Jules is messing with all of us, and I, for one, am here for it. Keep that weirdness coming, Jules. If you haven't checked out the amazing art for these new characters, do make sure you head over to the Book 2 section on our website, fateofison.com, to check them out. They are super pretty. Okie dokie, everybody, thank you for listening to Book 2, Episode 8. Don't forget to review us somewhere, it really does help. But other than that, just be kind to each other, stay cool, and keep on truckin'. I didn't have a third thing, but keep on truckin' works. Alright, bye. See you in episode 9.